How's it going, everybody? This is Jesse from BlackLab Outdoors, and this is the RZR pack for the Arsenal RZR Magnum platform. Stick around for all the details. So this is the RZR pack. It's just it's not a very catchy name or anything like that, but this pack was made for the RZR Magnum platform. So we're going to go over the dimensions real quick. For this, I have it hooked up to my Cabela's Outfitter Series all-day transporter 1200 fanny pack. That's a lot to take in, but it's been around for quite a few years. It's a good pack. I run it all season. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, what I'm hunting or anything. I like this. I like running this pack. It has a lot of good options. Wears well. Feels good. You know, it's a good pack. You can get it. You can get it anywhere from 80 to 120 bucks or 140 bucks or something like that on sale. I think it's around 80 bucks at the time of this video. Checking on it was $79. So it's a good price for a good pack. Like I said, I've used it a lot and it's worked great. So first off, before we get into the dimensions or anything like that, you need to remember when you're cutting out your material, your seam allowances. So you're going to want to make sure if you're going to hem, if you're going to hem this over at all, which I did, you're going to want to make sure you allow for those seams. So I hemmed it over twice. I'm trying my best. I just sew things. I don't always know all the technical terms for the sewing or anything like that. But I hemmed mine over twice, half inch to an inch. So what I do is you're going to end up using a couple extra inches of material. So you need to remember that when you're sewing this together. So I'll grab a piece of fabric real quick and we'll come in for a close-up. Okay, so what I did with mine is, because I didn't feel like running edge binding on everything, because I just did the edge binding on the top here. So on all my sides and everything, I folded it over half inch, right? So that's going to take up an inch of your fabric. So if I fold it over half inch, because there's half inch here and half inch under, and if I fold it over again, so I don't have any raw edges showing, which is what I did, you're going to end up having an extra 2 inches. So that's not going to show up. So just mark that real quick. Yeah, so right there you're gonna need an extra 2 inches of fabric. So for your seam allowances, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna hide your raw material like that. Inch if you're just gonna hem it over once. If you're gonna do a double hem, pretty sure that's what it's called, you're gonna have to allow up 2 inches of extra seam or extra fabric. So let's so the basic width of the platform is at 16 inches wide. Let's get the platform out real quick. So we got platform from here to here is 16 inches, okay? And then it's roughly about 2 inches thick. So from here over to here is about 2 inches thick. And then top to bottom here, 12 inches, okay? So what you're gonna wanna do is, again, you're gonna have to figure out if you wanna single hem or a double hem. Single if you want to, you know, you're not going to see that raw edge on the inside, so it's up to you if you want to save an inch of fabric around. So realistically, if you want to, the 16 inches wide and you're only going to hem it over once, you're going to want another inch on this side, another inch on this side. So you want to cut your fabric at least 18 inches wide. Now for the top to bottom, you're going to want to cut your fabric an extra inch, because you're, at least if you follow the way I made this, you're only going to hem the bottom. You're not going to hem the top, because we're going to put edge binding around the whole thing on the top. Now, this is made with 3 pieces of fabric. We got the front, the back, and the middle. In the middle, and we'll get the, we'll undo the, take this off the, all right, so the pack's off. So again, you're gonna have, well, technically we have 3 pieces of fabric, and this is only if you want to go ahead and buy this laser cut molle panel. It's like $28, I think, for the small. It's not even a full yard of material. It might be a quarter yard or a third of it. So, excuse me, it's really expensive. So technically, if you want to do this, we have 3 pieces of fabric. We have 2 for the front, 1 for the back, and then 1 that wraps around the entire thing here. So, and this is, you know, and this is, if you've ever made a grocery bag or something like that, this is pretty close to being the same thing. So with this being, with the platform being 2 inches thick, I would recommend at least 3 inches of fabric, and that way you can at least do a single hem, 4 inches if you're going to do a double hem. So again, this is all up to you guys. This is how I made my pack. The length of going around, I measured it out at 35 inches long and, you know, 2 inches wide, but again, you got to add in for your seam allowance. So hopefully, and again, I'll put this stuff in the description, so that way you have it. You don't have to try to pause the video or anything like that. But if you wanna follow along, I go through sewing everything. It should be only like 10-15 minute video, something like that. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm glad I could help. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please let me know. Just leave them down below, and I'll do the best I can. About the material or thread, needles, machine, what have you, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to help. Again, if you guys don't want to make this yourself, let me know and I'd be happy to. Not want to follow along, just keep on watching. I'm going to start sewing this one up. And again, thanks for watching. If you wouldn't mind sharing, liking, subscribing, and all that stuff. Trying to do my best putting out decent content for sewing outdoor gear and stuff like that. And I'd really appreciate the, you know, likes and follows and comments. I really enjoy doing this stuff, and if I can help people along the way, or you know, help people figure this stuff out, so that way they can get sewing on their own, or collabing with other seamsters, that'd be great. All right, thanks. So I'm just going through here. I put some 1-inch webbing on the back, and I'm gonna do some molle spacing, 1.5 inch molle spacing on it. As far as the thread and the needle and stuff, we're still using V92 thread. Nothing, you know, it's just random threads, because this is we're still just building this to make sure it functions the way we want it to, and we'll go from there. Just using some regular 500D Cordura, some regular 1-inch webbing, some mil-spec tri-glides. Needle size is size 20. Definitely what you want to go with, just so your thread's not burning through the material as you're sewing it, especially if you go at a higher rate like that, you'll have a tendency to burn the thread and break it. Of course, this would be a lot easier if you had a bar tack machine. You can just set it there, set the length and the width of your bar tack, but not everybody, including myself, has one of those. They're quite expensive, but these will do just fine. Cleaning up our thread. I always like to turn off the machine when I'm not actually using it. That way, if I actually hit the pedal, it won't do anything. So again, this is the back, and then this will be the front. You won't see these stitchings for this, but what this is on the inside. All right, so this is the back of the front, and then on the inside there, because the platform has this belt hook on it right there, so when you slide it in, it will hook onto the fabric just like that. And then, of course, we're going to run, this is what the basic construction is going to look like. So we're going to go through here. We have a piece that goes in the middle. So we're going to go through and so you know, good edge to good edge here, good side to good side through here. I put a 1/2 inch hem on it. You can do, you know, you can double it over for you know, full seam, so it look like that. So instead of having one have that raw edge there, you can fold it over one more time, and then you can have that nice edge there. But since I'm going to sew this together like this and then fold it right side out, you shouldn't be able to see that anyway. But that's the plan so far. So what we have right here is laser cut molle into Cordura. I'm not exactly sure what weight. I'm thinking it's 1,000 because it definitely feels thicker than this 500D. But this is what we're sewing onto the front of the pack. I just laid down a stitch line right here, as you can see, just to hold that part down. What's nice about these that's being laser cut is that it seals all these holes. All the edges are sealed and everything, so it's going to work out pretty good. So we're just going to go around and don't necessarily have to sew it in every spot through here, but we'll see how it goes when we start putting this together. So I'm just going through and laying down a line of stitches in between each of these, just because I was looking at it and, you know, I think it'd just be more secure this way. I think at the very least I'll run them up and down here through every one. I don't know if I'll go back and there doesn't make any sense to run it this way, because if you do that, then you won't be able to weave in lashing through there. So it's just going to be up and down through here. And, you know, it looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to go. So probably about 10 minutes and that part should be done. So we'll check back in when that's done. Oh, and I'm just, I am using a seam guide. Well, I'm doing two. I'm lining up my outside feet with these right here, and then I have my seam guide here. I have it set so it's running right along the end, the round part of the opening. So that's how I'm trying to keep as straight lines as possible. And then of course I'm just doing a little back tacking at the beginning just to lock in my thread. So this is all sewed on there, stitched in. Like I said, that feels and looks a lot better. I like it that way. Again, we're not going to go like through this way, left to right. We just went top to bottom in between these, and that's because so you can get a piece of webbing here. That way you can they make lashings, then you can, it's not easy, but you can feed it through here, and that makes whatever you're attaching it to, if you're attaching like another bag or anything, it makes it a lot more secure. So you just go through here, in, it is difficult to do, but again, it makes it a better connection like that. And then just weave it all the way down through if that's what you want to do. Again, they make a bunch of stuff like that, but that way you can attach it and it's very, very secure like that. So we're gonna keep on building here. Got this attached, like I said, so we're gonna start putting this thing together and go from there. Make it easier going around the corner, I make a little slit at a 45, and then we'll creep up on it. And make a little 45 slit right there, and I'll show you what that looks like as soon as we get done sewing this up. Again, we're going to creep up on it. Bury that needle, turn it, the fabric line back up. Back tack it right there, gets it held in place. Just like that, and this is what I'm talking about, cutting that corner. It just makes it easier to turn. This is all. You don't have to do it. Like I said, it just makes it easier to make your turn, make your transition around there. And then this is basically what it's going to look like when we get it turned right sides out here. Like that. So it's looking pretty good so far. I really, I always like this color combination in olive green or OD green and the coyote or the khaki. It looks pretty good. So we'll get this flip back out like this and get the other side sewn on. And then the last thing would be we're going to do some edge binding all the way around the top. So once we get the other backside stitched on here, again, we're facing good side to good side. So our bad side, you can, on the Cordura, it's pretty easy to tell. You can see the color difference, hopefully on the camera, then like that. So this is the bad side, bad side. Bad side's out, good side's in. That way when you flip it around, good side to good side. So, all right. So what I'm doing here to attach the bottom part of the pack to my backpack. So the platform pack to the backpack is I put tri-glide here, sewed it on, and then I fitted it through here through this molle. And so what I'm going to be doing is, because I want a little loop sticking out of this part right here. That way I can come back up around and you'll see it come together here and hook and then tighten it down that way. So I'm gonna take this, sew this down, loop this back up, okay? So I'll loop it back up like that. And so this will come out of the bottom and you'll put your hook on, and this will go through the handle strap on the backpack, and then come back up, hook onto this, and then you can tighten it down. So again, this will make more sense after I get it done, but so we're gonna work on that real quick. I grabbed a needle nose and a regular pair of pliers here just to help get this stuff through here. It's a little tighter than if you're going to sew your own webbing with just regular webbing for your mil spec here for your molle. So I am cheating. Oh shit, went a little too far. Just working it. There we go. Just like that. And again, that was my intended purpose, to just have this little loop right here. We'll see. Seal that real quick. Then that comes up, hooks on through there, and then you tighten your strap down. So we'll get this hooked up to the backpack.